What's up, crew? 7 ways we can easily improve our team's performance. Here's what we're going to be covering today. These 7 things above me there. Now, I've done some extended videos on a few of these, so you can catch them in the Get the Edge playlist. But for now, let's get on with it. Now, the first one is scouting small tournaments. By scouting small tournaments, you can find some wonder kids. Of course you can, but you can also find some players in the lower leagues that are going to do bits for you. It's going to save you money. You can buy some bargains. You can either nurture them, rise them to the top, or you can sell them on for a whopping profit. Here's an example. This fella, Ross Samuel, scouted him when he was with Arsenal's youth team, waiting for him to get released. Once he got released, we pounced. Soon sold him on to Watford for a whopping profit, but we managed to loan him back. Here's how we did it. So you got your scouting centre. There's your scouts lined up down there. Choose a scout. We'll choose Sean Kimberley. Click on Sean. Reports, scout assignments. Go to create new assignment. Now you go to this section here, and up in the top corner is scope. Select scope. Now the way we got Ross Samuel from Arsenal's youth team was we went to competition, England, right down to under 18s there. But there's all sorts you can do. You can check out the international scene, so you can go to internationals and go to your Euro 20 qualifiers for under 21, for example, your under 20 elite leagues or even younger, especially if you're a top team looking to find some wonder kids. Or of course, if you just want to find some lower league bargains that don't necessarily have to be younger kids, you can just go to the region, the nation, scroll down there, you can go to the EFL trophy, see who's doing bits in that. If you're in the championship, for example, have a look who's pulling up trees in leagues 1 or 2. It's just a great way. Scout the smaller competitions, you'll find some little hidden gems. Next up is analyst reports. Now I've done a more in-depth version of this in the channel on the Get the Edge playlist, so go check that out. But basically this will tell you what's going on with your team, how you're scoring, how you're conceding. Now this is a great tool. It's really going to drill down into your team and show you where you can improve your squad. Basically, you've got your scoring tab here and you've got your conceding tab here. Let's click conceding first. It gives you an overview first of your last 10 matches. Let's make it a bit broader. Let's drop it to 30 matches. Now what this little tab here is showing me is where the assists are coming from, where we're conceding the chances against our opposition. Also, just below it there, it'll say assist types. So you can see we've conceded 2 from free kicks, 2 from short passes, but 8 from through balls. So we've got a problem because we've got 8 through balls and from here. So looking at that, I can analyse that. I've got a problem coming through the middle. Looking at the goals as well, this is where they're getting finished off. That double underlines the fact they're all coming through the middle. So what this does is it shows you where you can improve your team. Opposition scout reports next. This is a super handy way to have a little look at your upcoming opposition's weaknesses. So you can see we've got Newcastle coming up next. So let's click on Newcastle, up to team reports, senior squad, and down to scout report. Get team report, choose one of your scouts. In a day or so's time, they'll come back with this screen here. Then if you click on the weakness tab, which I like to do, it brings up this screen and it brings up the strengths and weaknesses. I always focus on the weaknesses first. And what it says is 13 of the 22 assists conceded in the last 20 matches have come from through balls. So obviously they're playing quite expansive. So potentially targeting play through the middle would help us crack these lot. In other cases, it may say the goalkeepers aren't good in the air or they have a problem with positioning. In that case, you can capitalise with set pieces. It's another great tool to give you a little edge. Number 4, developing player traits. Now player traits are an extension of your player and they're there to capitalise on what they're good at. Now let's take this lad for example, Josh Coyote. Now look at his long throw attribute there, 17. Now before we developed this trait, his throws were those loopy type you see, but if you look over here we've developed possesses a long flat throw. So now it's like a bullet. Super handy. As you can see, it's going to help you get goals and it's all about capitalising on what they're already good at. So how do you do it? Fellow creator JDFM, links below, has done a quality video on traits to really delve into it and what to look for. But the quick version is basically go to your development tab on your player profile and under training you'll come to this screen here and you can see over here discuss new trait. Click on that, all your coaches will come up and you can discuss it with them. Once you click on this screen, your coaches will give you all these different options on what you want the trait to be. Now, you're going to either agree or disagree with your coach, so it's important that you select the right trait. Let's take this lad for example. Absolutely top class technical player, passing 19, good vision, good technique, good first touch. Let's see if we can get some killer balls. So we'll go up to development, training, discuss new trait with one of the boys. On to passing training. I would like to start coaching killer balls whenever possible. Click on that. Coach agrees with it, so we know we've nailed it. End quick chat. Just like that, he'll start learning that trait. Once he gets it, then he can make a difference in matches. Team morale. Again, we've done another video on this in more detail. Go check that out. But basically, keeping team morale at a high point is vital to stop that crash that a lot of us get. Now to get there, go to your dynamics tab up on the left hand side. It'll bring you this. It's a broad overview of your team dynamics, concentrating today on the hierarchy and happiness tabs. Now once you click on your happiness tab, it gives you an overall view of how happy your squad are. Now as you can see, 4 or 5 down there, I've got a player who's proper not happy. In fact, he's devastated, so I've handled this badly. This becomes a problem when it's linked to the hierarchy tab. So if we press the hierarchy tab, you can see that the player who was devastated, unhappy, he's one of my highly influential players, so that may trickle down to the rest of the squad, causing a bit of an issue. It's best to nip it in the bud before it gets that way. So if you get to the happiness tab, watch it every 2 weeks or so, just keep it monitored. If you start seeing a few players dissatisfied like these guys are, then you need to nip it in the bud. Hereford Lockett, for example, concerned about his playing time. So can you give him more playing time? Should you loan him out? Should you look to move him on? Just so it doesn't upset the balance of the whole team. Nip it in the bud early, keep your morale high. Team stats. Now team stats is a bit of an extension from the analyst report, really helping you get in the details now. To access it, bring your league table up, get yourself over to stats and team overview. Now once you're on the team overview section, it's going to show you all these tabs here, and there's loads, but they're really handy, especially things like conceded from corners. Now I've just started my season, but if I was a bit further on, when you click on it, it brings you all the stats and it shows you how many goals you conceded from corners. Luton, for example, we're 3 games into the season and they've conceded 3 goals direct from corners. They've got a problem. If you look a bit deeper into it, looking at something from the different side of the scale, to have a look, just click on the little arrow there, up it comes. Let's have a look at clear-cut chances created. In we go, and you can see Barnsley are top of the clear-cut chances created with 3 from 3 games, which is all well and good, but you find out their position in the league is 24th, so something's not quite right there for them. In fact, when you look at the league table, they've actually not scored. So they've got the most clear-cut chances, but they haven't scored. So the Barnsley gaffer knows they need a new striker perhaps. It's a great feature to keep an eye on, especially as the season progresses. You can really see how your team's performing. Is your conversion rate good enough? Are you making enough clear-cut chances? Are you converting enough clear-cut chances? Where are you conceding the goals from? Too many from corners? Too many from free kicks? Get on that tab, delve deep. There is an extended video on this on the channel. Final one for today is comprehensive match viewing. Now I know a lot of people watching key or extended, that's totally fine, but comprehensive match viewing will help your in-game management and help you spot things that aren't going to plan. It helps your in-game management so you can see what the opposition are doing, how they're lining up, how wide are they defending, how narrow, how wide are they attacking, where's the gaps at. The more of the game you watch, the more you're going to see. Watching in key or extended, I understand why people do that, it helps you progress through the game a bit better, but what I would suggest is if you are struggling for a patch of form and you're not sure what's going on, watch as much of the game as you can. It'll help you identify little things. So I'll either watch my comprehensive highlights in sideline view, or on this one here, data analyst, which gives a whole view of the pitch. It's basically a big, sexier progression from 2D. So there's the 7. I do hope you found some of that useful, and if you want some more detailed explanations on some of those, they are in the Get the Edge playlist, and JDFM has done one on the traits tab as well.